Aries, this is an amazing month to get a new venture up off the ground. You're surrounded by a bunch of creative people, and they have your best interests at heart for the most part. So let's have a look at your reading. This is Magic 7 Tarot. I am Finn, and I've done a Magic 7 Tarot spread for you already. I like to do them ahead of time, gives me a chance to meditate on them and always find new things. Plus, you don't have to watch me shuffle over and over again. So we'll go through them and then pull a couple other cards and give you some guidance this month. So the one thing I want to say first of all is that there's a lot of ideas, okay? And sometimes ideas are in the ether, you know, they're out there and we pull them down. And sometimes ideas are tangible things that you've written down and you're going to act on. And so there's a little of both here. And I want you to be aware of the difference between having an idea, thinking, oh, that's a cool idea, or having an idea and writing it down and making something out of it. Because actualization is really important. The more something is real, the more we can tangibly work with it. And when an idea is just in your head, I have lots of ideas all the time, I can tell you. The ones that make it to paper, that's a big deal. The ones that make it past paper to another human, that's a giant deal. Okay? And so be aware of the differences here. All right, we'll do past, present, future, and then we'll look at the other cards and then we'll pull a couple more cards. Usually I start my readings kind of on a physical level, like a mundane level. But there's always an astral, a spiritual version of these cards. And of course, a general reading means it's for everyone. So this is valid whether you have sun, moon, or rising sign in Aries. But of course, all of those have different nuances. Okay? So the more you know about your chart, the better. And if you know where Aries is in your chart, even better. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Let's get to it. In the past, we have the Ace of Coins. So the aces are related to Arcanum 1, and which is Mercury. And so these are ideas, thoughts and ideas. Whenever you see a coin, there's value attached to it. So it's business, but it's also self-worth. Okay. And so the Ace of Coins traditionally in the Brotherhood of Light Tarot deck, Egyptian Tarot, which is what I read with, a bit different than the other decks, the Waite Rider Smith deck and so forth, the Marseille deck. They all sort of have, very specific interpretations. Brotherhood of Light Tarot is grounded as the silver key to astrology's gold key. So there's lots of astrological references here. Okay, so the Ace of Coins is the Libra decadent of Libra, which means also Venus. So these are creative ideas. A financial opportunity could have this is the recent past, the last few weeks, last month. Creative insights. For me, this is a new idea, a new business opportunity in some kind of creative field, perhaps, or communication field, let's put it that way. So something to do with writing or broadcasting, although mostly these are the ideas themselves. You also might have had a new way of looking at yourself. Sometimes Aries is a pretty forceful and puts their energy out there kind of in a ready, fire, aim kind of way. And this is a bit more reflective, okay? And so certainly it has to do with creative insights, creative ideas, thoughts of your own self-worth, and some kind of opportunity. That's how I take it here, based on the other cards that I've already seen, which I'm going to show you. But it seems to me this has to do with a new creative venture related to writing or communication. In the present, we have the King of Coins reversed. Now, in the Brotherhood of Light Tarot, the court cards, when they're reversed, represent the opposite sex. So this would be a female. It could be a part of yourself. You have 3 cards here that are court cards. So whenever I see that many court cards, I tend to think they're other people, but that's not always the case. It could, how can I say, as above, so below is the Hermetic adage, okay? So if you meet someone in the world, they're attuned to some part of you there's always a correspondence. Correspondence is at the heart of what we do here with tarot cards, with astrology, with symbology, dream interpretation. All of those things have to do with correspondence. So this is a female or feminine energy, reflective energy, who's communicative, someone with many, many ideas. So you might have this idea in the past, recent past, and you're bringing it forward to this woman, okay, who you're telling your ideas to, and they're getting pretty excited about what you have to say. Um, this energy is is not always action oriented. Okay, so talking about ideas, here we go back to talking about ideas versus acting on ideas. Aries, you're an action person. And so it's good to talk through your ideas and get your sense of how they fit in with other people's ideas or the world, especially business idea. You want to correspond with people and discuss it. Um, and so this is, I think. So what do you think about the idea? That's the key word here. So thinking about it, thinking about it. I live in the country and sometimes I drop my G's. You'd think I was a hick or something living in the country, but I'm a big city boy who just happens to be in the country. But occasionally I, I revert to the local dialects. Okay. This is a very positive card. Okay. It has to do with working the idea. Working the idea. Oh my gosh, look at me today. It must be this morning. I'm tired or something. Okay. Working the idea. There's another card here that relates to it, and I want to talk about that after this card. Let's do past, present, future. So you had an idea in the past, a financial opportunity, a creative insight, some other way of something that makes you feel good about yourself, something that expresses yourself, and you're bringing that forward to a person, or you're reflecting on it yourself to try to form it into some kind of actionable situation. These are very positive situations, coins and coins, okay? Ideas. In the future, you have Arcanum 19, which is the sun. It's reversed, which doesn't mean negative. It just means it's a bit hard to bring out sometimes, or harder to bring to fruition. Mercury is retrograde right now. So that's always going to make things a bit delayed. And I would say that I sort of think the reverse cards here have to do with that you have these ideas, and maybe in the past, before Mercury went retrograde, you had the idea and you start to express it or write it down, bring it forward, or some business opportunity presented itself to you, and now as you try to action it, it's like walking through mud, right? It's a bit slower going than you would have hoped. Aries always wants it to go fast. Okay, so and that's okay, there's nothing wrong with that. This is new beginnings. It's a love relationship. There is the possibility that this has to do with love, but I'm going to go with the business angle first, or the idea angle, because there's so many Mercury influences here. It's the entertainment business. So if this idea is a script, or a treatment for a movie, or you have an idea for a YouTube channel, or something to do with the entertainment business or entertainment industry, uh, this is very fortuitous for that. It also could be romance and marriage, so, or partnership of some kind. It's more aligned with marriage, and there's another court card that relates to it. This is positive energy. So I'll just say that this could be a bit bossy. This energy, it can get a bit on a one track mind kind of thing, and so just make sure you're being gentle on yourself, gentle on others. Okay, kindness, and that's related to another card. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others, and your impatience, which is inherent, it's not really indicated here, but because you're an Aries, I'm going to say you could be impatient about stuff, and you're trying to get your ideas out there, and this person is taking too long. This can be kind of a changeable influence, right? It could be hot and cold. Oh, I'm super hot about your idea. Let me get back to you tomorrow. Tomorrow comes, the next day comes, the next day comes. Okay, so there might be a bit of delay in hearing back from this person, but don't worry about that. Okay, if there's any delay in moving this forward, use that delay to your advantage. I said in an earlier reading that I did that Mercury retrograde used to seem like a giant negative for me. And as I've grown wiser, let's say, older, and I've had more Mercury retrograde experiences under my belt, I've started to see it as an opportunity to go back over my work, check it, make new discoveries. Okay. And so if you are feeling the delay, go back over your idea. Go back. If this is a business opportunity, go do some research on the company or the people involved. Okay. Get a good picture of it. That's the opportunity that delay affords us. Sometimes things are full on and they go really fast. And sometimes that works out, but sometimes mistakes are inherent in that. When anything's going fast in Mercury retrograde, I always go, ooh, put on the brakes a bit, okay? Take a couple of extra days. Take a little bit of extra time to consider the situation. But I love this. It's new beginnings, okay? Whatever you envisioned for yourself or were inspired by, and now you're either thinking about it or you've got a friend, an ally involved in, something new is about to happen. Beautiful. This is wonderful. And the rest of the cards also play into that. So let's go through those. Past, present, future, idea. What's the word for it? You're synthesizing the idea, you're proofreading it, you're going over it, you're communicating, you're getting the package together to present it. Boom, something new happens. Very exciting stuff. Hey, if you like what I'm doing here, doing with a hard G, not a oh my goodness. I need a little like overalls on or something and a little like hayseed in my mouth. Anyway, I love living in the country. I grew up in a city, a big city, and I love visiting cities, but I like the country. It gives me the peace that I need every morning to be myself. So if that means dropping my G's once in a while, well, so be it. I love this past, present, future. There's a real flow here, and you're onto something. Whatever that is, you're onto something. Okay, here's the part that you can control or need to control, and it's the horse person of coins upright. Okay, super positive. These are thoughts. Whenever you see a horseman in the Brotherhood of Light, those are thoughts, and they're related to the person indicated here that's closest to the card. Okay, so I have two people. I have this person is right beside it, but not closest in terms of order of cards. This has to do with positive thoughts about you, about your project, supportive, raising your self-worth. And I'll say, sometimes when something hits, I have an idea, I put it out there, it hits, now I get overconfident. And so this is suggesting just be okay with it. Okay, it's all good. You don't, and so such a positive card that the only negative I'd say, or the part you have to control, is going too far with it. In other words, you don't need to do a happy dance quite yet about this. Okay, but the people involved here, this person, I think, and the next person, pardon me, they're thinking good thoughts about your self-worth, about your value. They value you. Okay, they value you and your ideas. Awesome. This is all good. Okay, the environment is another person, and this is the Queen of Scepters reverse. So it's a male. Seems to me this is the person that's in charge. So if this is your editor, this is your publisher. Okay, if this is your writing partner, putting it in this entertainment, or your co-producer, your producer, this is this is your writing, your partner, some kind of partnership. This is the person that's overseeing the entire thing. It also could represent your will, that your willingness into being. And I love that about this. And it's related to, these cards are related. Okay? So it's the same idea that you get to be the center of attention, and that's wonderful. you just don't be impolite about it, right? Like, there's one thing about people looking at you, okay? When you're in this public spotlight, and this indicates some kind of spotlight, whether you're shining it on yourself or someone else is shining it on you, okay? There's a spotlight here, okay? I love it. I love it. So be kind about it. Don't be a jerk, right? Don't be like, look at me, I'm so good. Let other people say how good you are. And you are good. And whatever is indicated here, obviously going to be different for everybody. Whatever is indicated here is positive, positive, positive. And the only thing holding you back, it seems to me in this case, this month, is being arrogant. Arrogant is the word. Okay? Arrogance. So I want you to check that. If it starts to come up, you can always put it back to this person, You say, what do you think? There's the word, right? I think. What do you think? How do you think I should behave? Do you think this is appropriate? Right? I've got a Carmen Miranda fruit hat. Is that too much? Right? You kind of feel like that, kind of opening up. That's what it feels like, opening up and, letting your freak flag fly. It might not be the best approach, okay? Be a bit more modest about things, okay? I think that you'll be more successful. I don't see any lack of success here. It's just that, there are grades of success, right? Being modest never hurt anyone unless that modesty becomes self-effacing and it diminishes you. But I don't see anything like that here. There's no risk of you diminishing you. Okay. What opposes you? Another court card. Okay. So this is the Queen of Coins. So maybe someone's a bit jealous of your success. Or maybe you were in a partnership with this person before, and now you're starting to succeed. You're getting your energy going, and they're putting a damper on it. Or I had one more that came to me. Give me a second here. Yes. Or in the midst of these ideas that you have and a vision for yourself and someone helping you, you have a new love relationship, and that kind of gets in the way. In any case, watch out for jealousy or jealousy of others, and watch that in yourself, right? That, sometimes arrogance is kind of like, like related to, um, feeling you should be getting more than you're getting, in a certain timetable. And so watch out for that. This is air, obviously. With, it's the it's Libra energy, so it's creative also. It doesn't have the forward energy that the other cards have, so it's almost like it's on the sidelines. So don't be sidelined. That's the other thing that's saying. The energy is so positive here, right? People really believe in you. People believe in you. And I think that you believe in yourself. And in the immediate future, so that's in the scope of this reading, it's 1 month. It's your lunar return reading. And so this is when the moon comes into Aries and hits your sun, moon, rising. And then you get a lunar cycle. It's a time to set intentions. The intentions I'm setting for you are follow this business idea, follow this new opportunity, financial opportunity. Bring your thing out to people. You need to talk to people about your ideas, and they're going to think very highly of it. So the only thing that's opposing you here is this other energy or person or previous situation. Could be a lover, could be a partner, a romantic partner, could be a competitor. So did you work with someone in the past and now you're moving forward and they're still stuck? She is still stuck. Okay, feminine energy, reflective energy. If it's yourself, it's self-reflection. So are you jealous of other people? Don't be. Okay, jealousy never served anybody. It never made anything better. It never does. Okay, so having a little bit of self-discipline, you got lots of energy here. With this card, that's energy. With this card, energy. Okay. Such positive ideas about yourself and other people having great ideas about you. Beautiful. Okay. How does this resolve this month? We have the Ace of Cups reversed. Again, not negative, just harder to come to fruition. It's an ace. It's Mercury. Mercury's retrograde. Of course, it's hard to come to fruition. So, so if you feel jealous, do not get in a mood about that. Okay, this can represent moods, or sort of a blue, your blue period, being blue. Okay, use it to plumb your depths. Use it to go deep on this idea or the idea of yourself. Okay, it's easy to feel, when you have a card like this and there's all this great energy around, it's easy to feel it's all out there. And in a lot of respects, this month it is out there. You've put it out there, or it came from without. You're talking to people and involving them. This is out there. I mean, this is full on. I'm in the spotlight. Okay, this is a bit more reflective, and it's a bit more. It could represent some sorrow, but that's not really indicated here. So I'm really telling you, don't get sad about it. If it's delayed, it's delayed. If it takes a little longer, it takes a little longer. It doesn't change the quality of these other cards. These other cards are very supportive of you. This could also represent, kind of longing, right? Was there someone in the past? Someone's new, right? This person feels like they're the past, and that's what's opposing you. But of course, that's going to be different for everyone. And for some of you, it's going to be inside, right? An idea or an emotional state inside you. Whatever you're working on, it's not going to happen this month. It's going to start to happen. And then you might feel like it's, you're walking in mud again. Okay. So don't let that dissuade you from the idea. Don't let that diminish your high self-worth as we start the month here. Okay. And it certainly doesn't indicate that the people think any less of you because it's taking too long. So don't you succumb to your moods. It could definitively, these are related. And so they're related in the sense of a love affair. Okay. And so they definitely could be about a new love that maybe isn't taking off the way you want. You have so much self-worth here. Okay, that's the message I want to communicate to you. There's lots of people around you, and they all have the same opinion of you. Okay? And in fact, even if someone is jealous of you, that means they think highly of you. You understand that, right? Like, it's not a negative to have someone, if someone's jealous of you, they wish they were you, or they wish they could do what you could do. Aries, you're so talented. I mean, you could really do anything, right? You'll put it out there. Just watch your humility level, right? If you had a humility meter, make sure it's in the green and not in the red, right? Like it hasn't gone off into boastfulness or arrogance, pride. Oh, I'm so proud. I'm not going to listen to what anyone else says to me. This is my idea. You guys leave me alone. Sound familiar at all? Okay. Let's grab a few other cards here and see what clarification we can get on this. In the spiritual realm, when I read this spiritually, this has to do with bringing in the fragments of who you are into the center. And the more you can do that, you're protected, right? This is protection, right? This is being in the light. Be in the light. This can sometimes not be in the light. It could be despair. I don't think that's you. If it is, don't go there. Okay, find a way. Find a way. I'm looking for the way here. Go back to the people that believe in you. Okay, find a way. Make a list of those people. Do you ever use a vision board? Put their pictures up and talk to them. I have a friend, it's an old friend of mine, a Jungian analyst, and for a long time I had a picture of him on my vision board. Whenever I got bummed out, I would just talk to him. It always helps. Okay, eternal spirit. What is the archetype that Aries can use this month to help them on this journey? Desire to know the truth. I'm going to cut these cards 3 times into 3 piles. That's how I do it. Eternal spirit, if they flip over like they're often apt to do, I just put them back. Don't consider that a real draw. Some people do. That's okay. Archetype for Aries this month, lunar return archetype. I desire to know the truth for Aries. Sun, moon, and rising. What's the archetype here that could help them on this journey, help them succeed in the highest possible way for themselves, for the world, and for the universe? I desire to know the truth. Asking for the truth is a big part of what I do. Okay, what did we get? The offering. What is an offering? It's like a sacrifice. I do a bit of an offering before I do these readings. I light some sage, set up a circle, and I offer that smoke up to the ancestors, to spirit, the eternal spirit, to my spirit guides, and people help me tell you the truth. That's what I'm all about. Okay? An offering is like a new idea, right? It's something you give, right? You give it willingly, right? It's an it's something you give willingly. Let's read the description. It's got the moon in there, which I think is cool. The moon is on this card too. Okay. It's related to sacrifice, but I don't think it's the same. It's like what I just did this morning when I started working. I made a circle in my workspace. Okay, I lit some sage. Made the offering, right? That I'm going to do some spiritual work here, and I want it to be sacred, and I want to think about it in the highest way. Okay. Unlike on many other cards in the deck, the offering carries a clear as day message and a call to action. As you may have guessed, it is time for something to be given and given up for the sake of the bigger picture. If nothing comes to mind immediately, though it's likely it will, take time to in meditation to consider what must be offered and who is to receive it. It's likely you'll feel attachment and hesitancy. You'll make excuses, but recognize the link between the word sacrifice and the word sacred. One leads to the other. When we offer something up to the greater good, we lighten our load and become more able to serve. Imagine for a moment if you were to offer your whole self unconditionally to the world. For now, start small. I love that. Generosity, donation, volunteering. Beautiful. It says sacrifice, but if it was a sacrifice card, it would say sacrifice. It says offering. Offering doesn't mean you have to give something up necessarily. You give something, right? You offer it, right? Voluntarily. So, when I offer my prayers for doing a truthful reading for you, I'm acknowledging that it's not me. I'm just the messenger, right? I'm not making the cards go in the same order. I didn't invent the cards. I didn't draw them. I didn't make the symbols. Okay? I'm just a vehicle through which these messages come. Finding your place. Oh, that's good. Finding your place and not being arrogant about it, right? Right? I'm not jealous. I'm not arrogant. I'm not boastful. What is that? Corinthians, right? Love is gentle. Love is, I'm sorry, I don't remember the quote offhand, but there's the quote in the Bible in Corinthians about love, right? What love is. So by loving yourself, good Lord, right? You're able to offer your gifts, right? Or you offer something like a prayer, like I did this morning, um, to acknowledge that you're part of this chain of communication, but you're not the message. Like you're not the message. I am not where the messages originate. Right? I'm pulling them down for you and for me. The gift for me is that I get to be that vehicle. I always feel enlightened in some way. I always learn something in every reading I ever have done in the 100 years I've been doing it. Okay, the offering. You certainly have a gift that you can bring to the world. Okay, and people think highly of it. So sacrifice, give up yourself. I mean, if that's the offering, give up this notion that it's going to has to happen fast or it has to happen on your terms. Leave a comment on how do you make an offering. What did you offer? I mean, it might be something that's very obvious, right? Like, ah, you know, I was on vacation for a little while in France, so I was drinking quite a bit of wine. I don't really drink day to day. Then I got back and I had to give that up because that's going to get in the way of my day to day and it's going to get in the way of my running. So it might be something like that. I give an offering. But to me, that's a sacrifice. And it's not the same as an offering. Offerings were gentle. All right. What's your offering? Let me know. Okay, Eternal Spirit, let's pull an inspiration card for Aries, and then we'll finish up. I'll come back to you in a couple of weeks and we'll check in and where things are going. I keep a record of all of these readings, so I have a notion of where we were going. Eternal Spirit, what is some inspiration for Aries this month? I desire to know the truth. Whatever it is, Aries, I hope it's something beautiful and it makes you happy. The world could need more happiness. I desire to know the truth for Aries. We'll cut it one more time, pull a card, and then we'll be done for today. Aries. Eternal Spirit, what inspiration can we offer Aries this month? A desire to know the truth. It's best for themselves, the world, and the universe. Aries. Abundance. Aries. People think really highly of you, and you think highly of yourself. Okay? This is a great card. Something new is about to happen. So be filled with abundance, right? Give up the thing that's not working or give something, right, of yourself, and abundance will flow. I can't wait to hear how the month progresses, and we'll check in a couple of weeks. Peace, Aries.